Hi everybody, my name is Spammals and welcome to the end of month vlog. This is the thing we do at the end of the month where we look at the games we played, we have a little talk about them, see how we feel, and then we look in the future and see where the channel's going. So without any more stalling, let's begin! November 2017, a hell of a month, a really good month to be honest. We did quite a lot this month. It started off with M4ster Play 2, the demo. Of course we played the full game late last year. We had a good time, we had good fun, it was a great little mini VR fun game, mini thing, and here we are with a sequel. Now, the full version isn't out yet, that's still under development, but with this demo we had a nice little insight into what we could expect. We got a new bombardment of enemies as well as the old ones, but where this demo kind of fell on its face is that it really didn't do anything to help you kind of defeat some of these monsters, and some of them would just straight up one-shot kill you. It got really horrible by the end. We didn't finish the demo, we kind of rage quit it in the end. It seems obvious to me that there's still some development that needs to go into this before it's ready for the full market, but anyway, I look forward to that all the same. Moving on! Next up, we did A Haunting Witching Hour. This is a VR horror game. It's an abandoned, run-down orphanage. And I went in with the highest of hopes and expectations of having a good experience, a good time, perhaps even a good scare. And it was such a broken piece of crap. I refunded it. Like, I normally don't refund games. I think it's the second or third game I've ever refunded. And after like playing like 900 videos, that's a low refund rate. I didn't like it. I might check it out in the future. I've told the developer I'm happy to re-review it, although I want a review copy next time. I'm not going to put my money back into it after this experience. Moving on! So just before this week started, I was away at Comic-Con in London and I got con flu and I completely died. I couldn't record. Luckily I had these all mostly pre-recorded, affected. Oh no. I ran out of pre-record by this point, I think. So in A Haunting Witching Hour, that was the final game I recorded before saying I can't film anymore until I'm better. I did a little Comic-Con little highlights reel. We did this last year. It's just a nice little happy little clip into what it was like being at Comic-Con hanging out with friends. I loved it to pieces and I really hope that joy translates through the video. Can't say much more than that, but we will return to Comic-Con May 2018. And we'll be having a booth and banners and all of that jazz, and when I have more information about that, I'll be passing it on to you guys right away. Click, click. Moving on! Next up, finally, ladies and gentlemen, Affected the Manor VR. This is probably, in my opinion, the greatest horror VR game I've played to date. It was so good, and it was great value for money. You have this haunted house, right? And you have your spotlight torchy thing, and you're going in, and the detail is really good. This is like the original VR horror game. This came out for Oculus Rift Dev Kit 1, and it's had a lot of time to kind of be analyzed of what was working, what wasn't working, and then they remade it entirely, and that's what we ended up playing. The remastered, re-released, brand new version. I love VR and I love horror in VR. I apologize, my voice is starting to blow out. I've been recording a lot in preparation for Christmas vacations. I love VR horror, I want a lot more of it. Anyway, moving onwards, we finally started to roll out Call of Duty World War II. Fan-funded game, thank you so very much. I think Inyo22 solely paid for this one, I can't remember. It's an epic campaign. We're playing the single-player campaign, and it is like D-Day landing, and just it's like a cinematic, mind-blowing experience. It was an amazing story, and while at times it's very much just kind of happy, joy, and shoot, by the end, like, it really did kind of put a frog in your throat, you know, because it really brought in the horrors of war, and it did have a point. It isn't just violence for the sake of violence. It had an underlying message of, like, war is ugly, war is bad. This is not something we should ever repeat. So hopefully that might come across. Loved it to pieces. I highly recommend Call of Duty World War II. I literally have zero complaints about it. I really don't. Anyway, moving on. Pierhead Arcade VR. So this is a short little bit of fun VR experience. It's literally an arcade on the end of a pier. You put your quarter in the slot, you play some little mini arcade games. Didn't really have much substance to it. You kind of done in half an hour or however long it was. Had bowling, it was an arcade. What can you say to describe it better? We had some fun in that and we moved on. Moving on! So even though like the horror month had kind of ended, we're still crowbarring more horror games in, so we continue and we begin Little Nightmares, the Hideaway DLC. This is the second DLC for Little Nightmares. We continue our adventure trying to escape from the moor, and it was much better than the first one. The first DLC was missing a lot of monsters. It was just implausible applied monsters, but this one got a lot more hands-on, a lot more interaction, and it was really a great improvement. And it had, oh, my little minion people. So I had Frank, and I had Clyde, and I forgot the other ones, Sebastian, and they were amazing. It really gave this sense of a team, of a crew, and it brought joy to me just seeing them appear. You had to catch them, give them a huggle, and then they would come and work for you, shoveling coal into a furnace. It was incredible. Anyway, a great little DLC. We have one more to come. I don't know when it's due out, but I want to kind of guess maybe December, but we ain't got time to play it in December, so we'll check that out next year as soon as it's available. Anyway, moving on. The Sunday series is still underway. We have Life is Strange Before the Storm kicking in. This is episode 2 of 3 of Life is Strange Before the Storm, and oh boy, was it a doozy. This was, again, another outstanding episode. This is a game that seemingly can't do anything wrong. The writing is just spot on. We got an even deeper sense of relationship with us and Rachel Amber, and we got to go on stage and perform, and we were so close, and we're saying how we're going to be leaving, but there's also a bad side going on. There's some, well, the wildfire that we kind of started is interfering with some drug lords who are now starting to cash in, and it's putting the pinch on everybody, and we're all getting kind of sucked into it. We started trying to steal money to pay back Frank, the drug guy, because he's getting pinched. And yeah, just it's gonna end somewhere very bad. I don't know quite how it's gonna end, but it's gonna be bad. Episode 3 is gonna be explosive. There's so much, because it's the final one. There's so much that might happen. So I very much look forward to that. When's it coming? Haven't a clue. But as soon as I know, you're gonna know. Moving on. So we continue Call of Duty, Little Nightmares to Hideaway continues, and then we start to roll out some Egyptian-themed stuffs. I forget the name of the title. There was Discover Egypt, and there was another Egypt one. Oh, it was like the Pyramids of Giza or something like that. I can't remember. But basically, yeah, we're in virtual reality, and we're exploring the Pyramid of Giza in Giza, of Giza in Giza, one of the two. And it was so cool. I felt like Indiana Jones. We're literally going through all of the catacombs, of the tunnels, of the passageways, into all of the tombs. It was so cool. It was like a real great historical experience. Another glorious example of how virtual reality is more than a gimmick. It's more than a game. It is truly experiences. And without being able to go to Egypt and many of these places I don't even think is open to the public, it takes you places you can't go, and I really appreciate that. It was a great experience. I hope it came across fun for you guys. I did my best, and I'm really happy with what came out of it. But then we did a second one after, and this other one was Discover Egypt, and it was a very short VR experience going into the tomb of King Tutankhamun, and that was cool. I mean, it only had like 3 or 4 rooms, but again, the historical value to it was great. They had all the wall mosaics on the wall. That's where the wall mosaics were. And we had a little bit of narration kind of filling in some of the information about what we're actually looking at. But I also crowbarred in some of my own because, of course, King Tutankhamun had his beard snapped off and then super glued back on really badly. Yeah, shame on those people that did that. But with these 2 VR experiences in Egypt, it was really great because Egypt is something I've wanted to cover on the channel for a long time, but there just isn't much to do with Egypt. But this is all for good reason, because we're building up to Assassin's Creed Origin, another fan-funded game, and that was the part to start on the Sunday. Supposed to start on the Sunday. I'm tired. I'm working extremely hard. Anyway, the Sunday series has ended, and I was going to stream Assassin's Creed Origins. The game's too large to film. It's like a 30-hour game. So I figure I'll live stream it, and like the live stream's set to start at 8 PM. I'm all set up. I'm good to go. My finger's on the button, like, let's do this. And I'm like, where's the game? Where is oh my god, the game isn't installed. What have I done? I messed up. That's as simple as that. I messed up. So we made do. We did Call of Duty World War II just regular multiplayer. That was good fun. We dabbled with a little bit of Titanic just to please the masses, and then we wrapped it up with some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Live. Moving on, Call of Duty World War II still continuing. This will be rolling out until the end of the month. Next, we had Assassin's Creed Origins on the Tuesday. We did an extra long 3-hour live stream. Loads of people got involved. It was great. We had lots of chat going on. Had some really funny moments. We had quite a lot of gags running through it, some that were accidental, some that seemed to take on a life of their own. We're having fun with it. Let's just leave it at that. How far we get is how far we get. Anyway, moving on. Wolfenstein 2 begins. So this is hot off the heels of Call of Duty, which is still rolling out at this point. Wolfenstein 2, obviously continuing that war Nazi theme. This is a fantasy game set in a world where Nazis won the Second World War, and the whole world has gone to topsy-turvy because of it. We wake up on a U-boat after our heroic actions of Wolfenstein New Blood, and we're a broken man, we're in a wheelchair, and we get captured, and our friend gets murdered, and we get into a parachute, and oh my god, it's brutal. This game's pacing is outstanding though. The graphics are fantastic, the script is great. It's very captivating, it truly is. So we did an extra long 1 hour episode for that one, but going forwards, they come down to, like, I record for 45 minutes, part 2 edited down to a half-an-hour video, but it's great. Like, the U-boat we're on is great. You have to start watching it. It's great. Moving on, so we do the second Assassin's Creed Origins livestream. Call of Duty continues to roll out. Wolfenstein 2 continues still. Here we are at the end of the month, and then a game comes from nowhere, gets in the middle of the schedule, makes a game I had already filmed and already done in the end of month vlog and made that go to another time period, and then crowbar this one in, and then we did Titanic VR. Changed the t-shirt, yay! Titanic VR was super cool. It was an amazing experience. We're going down to the bottom of the North Atlantic. We're going to go to the Titanic. We're in virtual reality. We're inside the Mir submarine. We can control the ROV. It's so good, and we're only just getting into it. It's a really fun experience. So far, we haven't been analytical or critical about it. We're just enjoying the game for what it offers up. But so far, it's doing great. We're having a lot of fun. Can't wait to play some more. Moving on, and then that leads to the end of month vlog. You're watching this now. Yes, mate! So as I said, it had been a crazy month because I had very ambitious plans. I'm obviously with December rocking up really fast. I mean, it starts tomorrow, for God's sake. I'm trying to prepare for Christmas vacations. I need some time off, and I don't want to stop the daily uploads. That's the last thing I ever want to happen. So I've been frantically trying to record, and being sick at the start of the month after Comic-Con, it just activated hard mode, if anything. But we did make some good progress. I'm still filming as I record this. I don't know how far into December we have gotten, but things were on track. There was a couple of days I slipped because, well, I'm being overworked, and even as I record this, my voice, I keep having to drink more waters because it keeps breaking, and it doesn't help that all these games, they're long recording times. We're starting Star Wars Battlefront 2 very soon. I'm trying to get Wolfenstein completely filmed before I start that because I'm getting confused because I'm bouncing between game and game. I'm thinking of the controls of one game for the other game, and it's kind of getting confusing for me. But Star Wars is going to be like hour-long episodes or 45-minute-long episodes, so there's a lot going on. But that is like, just keep moaning, Spammals. It doesn't change a thing. We're having great times. These are great games. It doesn't matter that they're long. It makes it harder for me to produce them, especially as fast as possible. In addition to all of the videos we have done this month, we did quite a bit of live streaming, and you guys have been so generous. I mean, was it prior or just after Comic-Con? We raised the £200. It was just before Comic-Con, right? We raised a lot of money for the hotel and stuff for Comic-Con. We then went on to raise over £200 to fund all 4 of those AAA games. That's something I could not have afforded to do myself. So you guys, off the bat, are already so extremely generous. So by this point, I don't want to ask any more of you. I don't want to be asking you to fund more games. And quite frankly, I don't even know what games to even suggest at this point, because we're playing all of the big hits. We've had just a tip jar now on the streams, and you guys continue to donate. We've raised over like £71 by this point, just from the live stream tip donations. That's not even towards a game. That's just, here's a Christmas bonus for you type of thing. So thank you guys so much for being so generous. It's mind-blowing. I say this month's been a crazy month. It truly has. We're hammering out big series. We're doing more live streams, and we're ahead of schedule. Like I said, those daily uploads, they're coming out bang on time. I'm working my butt off here, and I think you guys are enjoying it. Everything seems to be working, and that's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to the downtime over December, and basically the sooner I can get done, the more time I get off over December. And so, to that regard, what's happening in December, Spammals? Well, let me tell you. We had a lot of games in mind for here in November that had then been kind of pushed aside because you guys went crazy and bought me all these lovely games. So, Star Wars, that's happening in December, 100% guaranteed. I can't remember if I told you guys this in the last end of month vlog or not. It might have been a Patreon exclusive. But whatever, I'll tell you now. So there's a VR game I really want to do. The developer gave me a review copy of it, so I'm very thankful for that. It's called The Invisible Hours. It's a murder mystery detective VR game, very much in line of like Sherlock Holmes and Poirot. But what's interesting about it is that like you follow people around this house, you investigate, you speak to them, but things are happening in real time, so you can't follow everyone at every moment, so you're only ever going to get a fraction of the bigger picture. So it's got massive replay value. You can play it several times following different people, and you see different chains of events, different conversations, different pieces of the puzzle. So I'm very excited to get into it. And of course, during all this, Wolfenstein 2 will be playing out into at least the middle of the month. I didn't want things to go on too deep into the month, because as Christmas starts rolling up, like the week before Christmas, I wanted those big series complete, because I want to do just kind of, I don't know, just silly little jolly Christmassy things like Christmas Shopping Simulator and just, you know, just silly little Christmas games. So on the week up to Christmas, I hope to be doing stuff like that. I haven't actually like started making a list yet of games I want to do. That's the plan for the week running up to Christmas. And then between Christmas and New Year's, it's completely blank. But I've already said, like, if we are able to reach 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I will most likely be holding a live stream to celebrate the occasion. We'll have a bit of a end of year 20k party type thing, so that could be fun, depending on if it happens and when it happens. The analytics keep shifting. It will say either by the end of the year or like the first week of 2018. So, I mean, it'll happen relatively within that kind of bracket. So, you know what, if it doesn't happen by the end of the year, it'll be pretty close to happening, you know? We'll have a live stream party regardless. Anyway, that's that planned. I really hope you're having a nice time here on the channel. We have lots of new members. We have even more older members. I really do feel that the sense of community is definitely building and growing. The episodes we're uploading, they're getting more and more views. We kind of seem to be hovering around the 500 views point, which is nice, because there was a time where we was like getting 1,000 views like every video, and then it dropped back down to like 100, 200, but now it's gone back up again. Like, that's YouTube in a nutshell, and arguably YouTube is in its worst phase it has ever been in, with the adpocalypse and this mass demonetization, which we are still being affected from. However, I've found by trying to get far ahead as possible, it gives us time to upload the video for it to be kind of demonetized and for us to contest it before it gets released. So it actually is beneficial to get as much of a buffer as you can. It gives YouTube enough time to actually do their job. It's ridiculous, and you know what, there's going to be a breaking point soon, because everyone's getting affected. Somebody summarized it perfectly. It's become a mini game. I've even thought of making a trolley video of how to upload to YouTube. Step 1, record. Step 2, upload it. Step 3, wait for it to be demonetized. Step 4, play the yellow icon mini game, wait for it to be replied, then hit publish. It's so simple as that, you know? Anyway, basically what I'm trying to get at is that things are doing really good on the channel, and it's only showing signs of improving. So fingers crossed, you know, fingers crossed, things continue to develop in that direction. And on that bombshell, that brings us to the end of the episode. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. I would truly love to read them, especially on this video, because we're reflecting on the past. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on the games we have played, and what you've enjoyed the most, what you found the most funny, or what you hated. You know, don't tell me that, because that depressed me. But anyway, on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.